Hi, Bob the Canadian here. Welcome to this English lesson on contractions. If you don't know what a contraction is, it's when we take two words like do and not and we combine them together into don't. Sometimes when you're learning English, this can be a bit of a challenge, but using contractions can really help you sound like a native speaker. We use contractions a lot. So in this video, I'll help you learn eight of the most common English contractions, and I'll give you examples on how to use them. Well, hey, welcome to this English lesson on contractions. I'm Bob the Canadian, and I'm happy to be teaching you a little bit of English. If you are new here, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below. And if this video helps you learn a little bit of English, please give me a thumbs up. The first contraction that we're going to look at combines the words do and not. If I was to say, I do not like ice cream, that would be a completely correct English sentence. But as a native English speaker, I would be more likely to say, I don't like ice cream. Notice the difference. I took the word do and the word not, and I combined them to say don't. So, I do not like ice cream becomes I don't like ice cream. By the way, I actually do like ice cream. The second contraction we're going to look at combines the words can and not. Let's pretend that you invited me to a party. I might be busy on that day, so I would need to say to you that I cannot come to your party. But if I was to use a contraction, I would say I can't come to your party. So notice in the first sentence, I said I cannot come to your party. And in the second sentence, I said I can't come to your party. By the way, if you had a party, I would probably come. The third contraction we're going to look at combines the words did and not. I remember a time when I was a child and I ate the last cookie, and my mom said to me, "Did you eat the last cookie?" And I said, and I lied actually, I said, I did not eat the last cookie. But if I say that sentence with a contraction, I would say, I didn't eat the last cookie. So the full version with no contraction, I did not eat the last cookie. Or the version of that sentence with a contraction, I would say, I didn't eat the last cookie. I did actually eat the last cookie. The fourth contraction that we're going to look at combines the words will and not. When I was a teenager and I started driving my dad's car, he said to me, I don't want you to drive over the speed limit. And I responded by saying, Dad, I will not drive over the speed limit. That is a sentence without a contraction. If I used a contraction, I would have said, Dad, I won't drive over the speed limit. So notice the difference there. The first sentence is, I will not drive over the speed limit. And the second sentence with the contraction is, I won't drive over the speed limit. It really changes quite a bit, doesn't it? From will not to won't. The fifth contraction we're going to look at combines the word have and not, and it becomes haven't. Maybe a friend of mine asks, hey, Bob, did you see the latest Avengers movie yet? I could respond by saying, I have not seen that movie yet. But if I wanted to use a contraction, and I most likely would use a contraction, I would say, I haven't seen that movie yet. So the first sentence would be, I have not seen that movie yet. And the second sentence with a contraction would be, I haven't seen that movie yet. The sixth contraction that we're going to look at combines the word was and not. Maybe you can imagine a situation where someone is asking me if I was at a certain place on a certain day. I could respond by saying, I was not there. That would be a sentence without a contraction. Or I could say, I wasn't there. So notice again the first sentence, I was not there, and the second sentence, I wasn't there. The second sentence uses the contraction of was and not. It's a little challenging to say for people who are learning English. So I'll pronounce it again for you. I wasn't there. I really wasn't. I wasn't there. It wasn't me. The seventh contraction we are going to look at combines I with am, and it becomes I'm. So a lot of times you will use this when talking about your age. In English, when someone asks, how old are you? You start by saying, I am, and then your age. So I am almost 50 years old. That is a sentence without a contraction. If I was to use a contraction, I would say, I'm almost 50 years old. I'm really getting old, you know. Anyways, the two sentences again are, I am almost 50 years old, or I'm almost 50 years old. The eighth contraction we're going to look at combines I and will, and it becomes I'll. So maybe someone asks you, what time are you coming to my house? And you could respond by saying, I will be there at 8 o'clock. If you wanted to use a contraction, you would say, I'll be there at 8 o'clock. Let me repeat those two. If you were to not use a contraction, you would say, I will be there at 8 o'clock. If you used a contraction, you would say, I'll be there at 8 o'clock. Well, hey, that was 8 of the most common contractions that you can use while speaking English. I think you should take some time to practice all of them. They really do help you sound a lot more like a native English speaker. Native English speakers use contractions a lot. Anyways, thanks for watching this English lesson on contractions. I'm Bob the Canadian. You are learning English with Bob the Canadian. It was really fun to make this video for you, and I hope that you're having a good day. And if you have time, why don't you stick around and watch another video.